something we've thought about talking about is trusting ourselves. And when I think about this, I think back to who I was, especially as a Christian, and who I am now. I was really quick-witted, but my wit was kind of cutting. It would usually be putting someone down. Sometimes it was self-deprecating. And now that I've grown, I feel that I have to speak slower. And I fear that that's made me dumber, or come across as dumber, or less funny.
Well, why do you think that makes you like come across as dumber?
I guess I associated responding quickly with being intelligent.
So like being slow, like slow-minded.
I'm slow-minded. Now that you ask that, I see that someone that takes a minute to think, like I have no problem with that whenever I think about it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, as long as like something intelligent's coming out of someone's mouth, like sometimes it's okay for like the weight of it, you know? But I think everyone's so different in the way they speak. But
I think it's especially come out on this podcast where I feel that I need to keep the flow going. And
is it because I'm just a bad like co-podcaster?
I think it might be because you're such a good co-podcaster.
Oh, I think you are. I think you are too. Do you trust that you are like a good podcast like co-host?
No, I don't. I trust that I can get there, but I think it'll take practice.
Well, I'm gonna share something with you. I feel the same way. I don't.
What?
Yeah, I don't think that I'm a good like co-podcaster host person. Like,
what the fuck are we doing here then?
Well, yeah, maybe we should just give up. But like, I think it's just confidence, right? Like being confident in yourself and like, I guess, trusting yourself that you're going to be able to like do the best you can. But I think that's a really common feeling to feel when you're doing something that's so like presentational, because we're speaking and potentially people are listening to this, you know?
Yeah, it is about confidence. And I realized that what I had confidence from before was not myself. I was just using other people's words from the Bible, the word of God. And I had certainty in that because I cared a lot about it. I spent a lot of time researching, figuring out what I believed, how to interpret this, make sure that it's right. And then I could speak so confidently. And I knew so much about it. But now I'm only saying what I think, what I've learned. And I've realized it adds this extra responsibility. I'm accountable for what I say now.
It's not because of religion.
Yeah, before I could just say, well, you got a problem with me? Then you got a problem with God.
Sure, yeah.
But now I have to be willing to apologize. And in thinking about this episode, I realized that apologizing feels really difficult for me.
In what way?
I think that as a Christian, like a fundamentalist, near extremist, the idea of apologizing was kind of like admitting that I'm a failure as a Christian, because I'm admitting that I'm wrong. And I thought I had everything figured out. And I felt like I was expected to be pure, perfect, an example, salt and light to the world. And so if I needed to apologize, it means I'd failed that. I'd failed myself. I'd failed God.
Yeah. Like if you weren't able to like defend yourself in some way, then like it means something's wrong with your entire beliefs, which is like was who you are, right? Or how you identified as.
Yeah. And so now I see apologizing isn't that. It's more about caring about the other person. I think it's regular maintenance that needs to be done in a relationship. But it wasn't framed that way before for me. And so I feel like I'm having to unlearn that.
So now that you're like out of religion, you don't have like dogmatic religious beliefs anymore. What do you believe in about yourself? Like trust is all about like the idea of trusting yourself is like, I believe in myself. What are the things about yourself that you believe in?
My son asked me, what am I going to be evoking about tonight? And I told him about trusting yourself. He's like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, what? He's like, what if you wanted to jump off a cliff?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I guess I think that now I feel that I will figure it out. If I don't know the answer, then my open-mindedness, my curiosity, my desire to find the truth will eventually get me there. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe about myself.
You find that valuable about yourself? Like you love that part of yourself?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best parts about me.
What are some other ones? Like the reason I'm asking this, and I feel like maybe I can come across like I believe fully in myself. That's not the case. I've actually been dealing with a lot of like confidence issues for the last actually maybe most of my life, but extra strong the last couple months. And as we're having this conversation, I'm realizing that one of the things that really helps me out is kind of remembering who I am, like remembering about like letting go of all the other noise in my head and looking at who I really am as a person and what I really care about and connecting to that side of myself. And so the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is because I think it's a really valuable thing. But what are some other areas of yourself that you really love about yourself? Like you really care about yourself besides curiosity and like your ability to learn?
I really like how much I want to be good. I maybe this is in everybody. I'm not sure, but it feels like that's a huge driving force to me to figure out the most optimal path, the best belief. I want to figure that out. Mm-hmm. This is like a difficult question for me. I feel like you're asking, who are you?
It kind of is, yeah.
And I've had such a hard time with that, not knowing who I am, because if you were to ask me that 10 years ago, the first thing that would have come out of my mouth was I'm a Christian. That's where I took my identity from. Mm-hmm. And so it feels like I had lost a huge part of my identity and I've had to create it on my own.
Which I think is a really valuable thing, because I think that's why like religions and spiritual beliefs can be so like entrapping, is that it kind of takes off the responsibility for you to have to figure out why you have interest in who you are as a person outside of this like large belief of what's happening in the world. And so I think it's a really common thing once people have left religions to kind of feel empty and have to figure out what they like and who they are and what they enjoy. But I bet there's some other areas about yourself that you've like learned about.
One that just came to mind is one that I think didn't feel acceptable for me to believe about myself. And that is that I'm an artist. I did not think it was acceptable for me to be an artist, because artists are going to have a hard time making money. So don't even focus on that. But it's the creative side of me is also a really big side of me, whether it's making a piece of pottery or something like this, or 3D modeling and coming up with an interesting creative solution for storing something in my house. I think that's a big part of me that I would not allow before. It probably wanted to come out, but I kept shoving it down.
I really relate with that a lot. I think it was the last year or so, I finally like got to like this like realization in therapy that I'm like, oh my God, I think I am like an artistic person. And I had never like thought about that about myself. Like I thought, like I relate with what you were saying, that it's like, it was kind of looked at as like not a good thing or not a valuable thing to society to be like creative, artistic. But I also thought it was kind of pretentious to kind of say that you're like claim that you're this artist.
Oh man, I totally relate with that. It felt egotistical and arrogant to say, because I thought that it was a God-given talent to be able to create something like that.
Yeah.
And to say, I can do that. it felt like I was worshiping myself.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe, and that's because there are some artists that come across that way, that are arrogant, egotistical. But what I found valuable about actually trying to speak to myself that way is I was treating those sides of myself like they are valuable to me. Saying to myself, wow, you know what? I am an artist, kind of makes me feel like confident in the fact that I have these artistic like expressions and ways that I like approaching things, and being able to look at it as that way makes me feel better. It's like, I feel like this is like something that I've been like thinking about a lot, like over the last couple of years, that like confidence is kind of just putting up blinders to like thoughts that you would normally like tear yourself apart with. So like if you can just be like, no, I'm an artist. Well, what does that like really entail, claiming you're an artist? It means that like being an artist is someone that's going to express things in their own unique way, and that art is subjective and there's no perfect way of approaching that. Well, if you are able to maintain that, any thoughts of like, oh, this is stupid. What? Maybe people think this is terrible. Oh, maybe that this is like, this isn't art. Like having like that confidence in yourself, like kind of naturally just dismisses those other thoughts that can come in your head that would make you not be confident in what you're doing.
That's interesting. I made in a pottery class once, I made 8 cups and I was trying to make them all the same. And I just hated them. But I didn't say anything about that. And I brought them out, and one of the other instructors was there, and he was like, oh my God, those are beautiful. And I was confused because I saw garbage on the table, but he saw them completely differently. And it made me realize what you're talking about, where I was just listening to that side of me that was tearing me down, rather than this is what I made and it's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah. And I think this is like the part that sucks about being an ambitious person. Cause I think we both, I think you are maybe more ambitious than I am. And I thought I was extremely ambitious, but like constantly looking at progress is going to like make us not like, especially in the beginning stages of trying something, it can be such like something that can kind of like deter us from continuing something, because you're so hypercritical on knowing what like the standard is that you want to like get to, or what you view as like valuable and like other people's like art, or how they approach like music or something. And it's
oh man, I constantly have that thought of, am I learning this slower than other people? Am I faster than other people? And there's no way to ever know that.
Yeah.
But I beat myself up with that question.
Yeah, because it's subjective to you. Like not many people, I mean, there probably are people in the world that have very similar background experiences and maybe lifestyles that you do at this like same age, because the population is so big. But not many people, you can't really compare yourself to other people in that way, because no one is really you and has gone through the same things that you've gone through. And so it's not like it's not fair to make a comparison to yourself. And I'm saying this hypocritically because I say the same shit to myself.
I know you say I can't compare, but that part of me definitely compares me.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you found any ways that kind of helps you get out of that mindset? Like what's to the things that like, let's say the most like efficient routes you've had of like starting something new and achieving it and feeling happy about yourself. If you've had those experiences, what has helped like guide that experience in that like way?
I mean, what comes to mind is seeing great artists as a human, as just human, and then realizing that I'm also that, a human. I think I thought of them as something greater than just a human. And I thought maybe of myself as something less than a human. But whenever I evened out those playing fields, I remember thinking this thought that it made me emotional and tear up when I realized, well, I'm also a human. I can learn things. I've learned a lot of things. So I can learn this art. Pottery, I think, is what I was thinking at the time, or maybe it was chalk art. If someone can do it and I'm someone, then I can do it.
Yeah. Well, are you okay with like making mistakes? Because I have a really hard time when I like fail. Like do something that I don't like, or I'm like annoyed by how it is, I can start like catastrophizing and being like, oh, this is just terrible. Like maybe I'm just really bad at this and I like shouldn't like move forward with it. Do you find yourself doing that?
Yeah, that is something I've really struggled with. I viewed them as failures and I tried to avoid them at all cost. But I realized that's where lessons come. That's what makes the next iteration better. And I was robbing myself of the lessons because I was so afraid of failing. And I remember drawing this chalk art, and I would go out of the line or not do what my hand wanted it to do. Like, oh, I'll be better next time. I was able to just tell myself, I'll be better next time. You can erase it and do it again. It's not a big deal.
Whoa. Yeah, I think that's like one of the things that has actually in the moments where I'm feeling the most confident about myself, and this is something I'm dealing with lately, is speaking nicely to yourself, like speaking gently to yourself in that way of like your internal dialogue kind of guiding you in a more supportive way of being like, hey, you know, like kind of a coach. You're like, oh, you know what, you might not be doing perfect, but you're gonna get there. Just keep going. Versus like the opposite of being like, you're a fucking pice of shit. You're terrible at this.
Oh, man.
Just stop.
That phrase right there, you fucking piece of shit. I've said that so many times.
Really?
Yeah, that exact phrase. It was actually a mountain biking YouTube channel of this guy teaching his girlfriend how to mountain bike. And his voice was so soft and loving, and the way he spoke to the person he was trying to teach. I tried to make that the voice inside my head where she does something. He's like, sick.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Do you still like try practicing that now?
Yeah. Yep. I try to use his voice.
Interesting. That's like, I think from my understanding, that's like CBT, like cognitive behavioral therapy, where they'll like recommend you trying to like, yeah, just altering that internal voice and critic in yourself. One of the examples from one of my sisters, she did like CBT, and she had like the same issue of just like being really mean to herself internally, or having like intrusive thoughts of like thinking really like bad about herself. And she said one of the things that they recommend her doing, and this is like stuck with me like since I've heard this, is instead of just like hearing that voice, to kind of alter or change it into like a kind of a silly tone. So it's like, instead of being,
you fucking piece of shit.
yeah. It's like if you like drop something and you're like, oh, I'm so fucking stupid. This is terrible. Why would I do this? Instead you're like, oh, silly me. Did I drop it again? Oh, okay. And just like that emotional reaction that you have, like that you're feeling about yourself, is like drastically different. And that's going to really affect how you handle this type of situations. And I think this is one of those things that I need to do more of, because, man, I've just been having so much like mental confidence issues of like thinking that I'm just like so tired all the time has been one, of being like, oh, I'm so exhausted mentally. I'm just like probably so stupid right now. I can't like think clearly. Oh, I'm going to fuck this up. There's no point in even trying to do this type of work or trying to talk to someone in this way.
Are you actually tired in that moment? Or
yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. I have been having issues with like sleeping and anxiety, and that I know for a fact that's directly going to like impact my like internal dialogue with myself, because when you're tired, you can't really think clearly or think straight. And so my thoughts are usually more like muddled and messy and like, yeah, just kind of chaotic. But at the same time, I still think there's a part of me that's just like doubting that I am like, I can think clearly, but I have like this internal dialogue in my head just kind of being like, no, you're tired. You can't think straight. Maybe something's wrong with your body. Maybe you're like sick or something like that. And I've been having that for like the last like few weeks now, and it just like does not feel good.
yeah, I cannot believe how I didn't pay attention to sleep for so long, because that feeling of being tired, it changes everything. It's like putting on the opposite of rose-colored glasses and trying to go throughout the day. Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Would you recommend like focusing on sleep as a way to like help build like self-trust and confidence? Because I think I'm starting to get to that point where I think that is like one of the biggest factors.
Yeah. Lydia got me for my birthday one of those mattress covers that cools your mattress. And it immediately deleted the problem of waking up hot, and which would happen every night, once or twice. And it would interrupt my sleep. And it made me be willing to invest in or sacrifice other areas. Like I stopped drinking caffeine after noon, and that contributed a little bit. I started taking supplements for sleep, and that helped a little bit. I started meditating right before going to sleep, and that helped a little bit. I stopped watching intense television shows right before sleep, and that helped a little bit. So it was like, once I invested a little bit, it made me want to invest more, which made me want to invest more. And my sleep scores were in the 60s a lot, and now they're usually in the mid 80s, and that's a huge improvement for me.
Wow, that's really, really good. And that's with like your watch?
Yeah, the watch and the mattress cover also gives you a score.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that being like a really like valuable thing. It's just kind of calming your mind down to be able to like think clearly.
Do you focus on sleep?
Yeah, I normally do. I think I get out of like the habit of it sometimes. Like,
I'm fine. I don't need to.
yeah, or it's like, oh, you know what? We can stay up late a little bit tonight. And that's fine. And then like the next day, it becomes like a habit to just do that again because maybe it was like fun. But then slowly you're becoming reliant on it.
Yeah, that was a hard one actually. I started going to bed all the time between 11 and midnight, and that helps a lot. I think I'm just the regularity.
What time do you get up?
I wake up between 7 and 8 now.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we were doing. We were like trying to get in bed by 10 and then fall asleep like at like 10:30 and then get up between 7 and 8. But I'm the type of person that also I feel like needs extra sleep. But I think that could also just be because of anxiety.
I hate sleep.
You do?
Yeah, and a big part of it is because I have shoulder pain and I really want to sleep on my side.
Oh.
When I go to try to sleep on my back, it's like my mind is like, let's fucking go. You got all this stuff that you can think about. But I put a hoodie. I started wearing a hoodie, and it being on my face, I don't know if there's some kind of reflex, but that makes me sleep so much better. And so I've got the pillow on one side and the hoodie on the other side, and it just is cozy. And so I really want to sleep on my side, but this shoulder is the good shoulder, and I can only sleep in that one position for so long, and I need to switch to the other side. This is the bad side. And so I have 5 pillows.
Oh my God.
And I felt shame about this a lot.
Having 5 pillows?
Yes, that my body needs this. But it's like embarrassing that I need this. I actually remember making fun of my mom for having a whole bunch of pillows. But I think this was one of the genetic gifts she gave me, or maybe it was given to her and then she gave it to me. If I lie with my arm out straight, I start to develop elbow pain.
Oh my God.
If I lie with my legs straight, I start to, my feet, the circulation gets cut off to them. And so if I'm on my back, I've got to have a pillow underneath me. I even take a pillow while backpacking. It's inflatable and small, but I put it under my knees. Or if I lie on my side and my knees are together, it's painful. So I've always hated sleep. And I feel like I might be like you, where I need more sleep, but I just can't do it. My body's like bored of it after 7.5 hours or so.
That really sucks, man. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. When I had my back surgery, I that's the first time where I like realized that how much it sucks being in pain and having to rotate throughout the whole night, and like how much that impacted my sleep and just made me feel like shit.
Oh yeah, you could only like sleep in one position for a while, or
it would just start hurting for like when I first like injured my back like badly because I had like a herniated disc, and it was giving me like my like sciatic like pain like down to my right leg. I had to just like only sleep on my side. Or no, I had to sleep on my stomach, and then I had to rotate to my side every like 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
And had to do that for like, I think 2-3 days straight. And then after like the surgery, I was just like side for a while. After a couple hours, it'd start hurting. I need to like go on my other side or like just lay on my back straight. But just the disruption of sleep is like, I could see why you would not be excited to go to sleep, like feeling that way. And I feel that way when I have like, I'm having body anxiety or like mental anxiety where I lay down in bed and then I'm just like, my body kind of hurts. I just like, it feels like I have just like chronic inflammation. And then I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, it becomes this chore of trying to like get myself to like relax and feel, sorry, I just started having body anxiety. Oh my God.
What's this about?
It's just, I think it's just the same anxiety I've been having for the last like week. I've been having like really bad like body anxiety again. And
I think it's probably just gas.
I mean, probably I think I've also just like noticing myself trying to just like hold my body very like tight and like proper and not like really relaxed right now. And I think it gives me just bad like circulation.
It's the chair's fault.
Maybe. I think it's mine.
Going to bed at a regular time, that was one of the hardest things to implement because I wanted to stay awake until I was so tired that when I got in bed, I would fall asleep really fast. And that makes it like, that's such a hard thing to go to bed when you're not completely exhausted.
Oh yeah. Or like, I haven't had these in a while, but I really love those moments when you get lay in bed and your body just feels very warm and like cozy, and then you just drift into sleep.
Yeah.
I miss that. I want that.
Yeah, I feel lately I've been waking up with a headache, and that is crushing. Like first, I would always solve my headaches by taking a nap or just going to bed, and waking up with a headache makes me feel like the day is soured. It is ruined because the way to solve it is to go to sleep. But I just finished doing that. So like, what the fuck was the point of all that?
Yeah.
But that like taking us back to the mental state throughout the day, whenever I wake up with a headache, it feels so hard to have willpower or to choose to do something creative or to choose to do something difficult that's good for me.
Yeah. It's in those moments, this is one of the things I have such a hard time with is in relation to trusting myself. Sometimes I'm not really trusting like my own body's or like my own mind's like signals, which is like, oh, I feel really tired. And instead of like actually going and laying down and trying to take a nap or go to sleep, I like stay up and I'm like trying to like solve that problem of, oh, I'll drink a little more caffeine. Oh, use a little more nicotine as a way to get me like more stimulated and like awake so I can focus and be more present. So I'm like, I think that's also like a thing that I have a hard time trusting myself with is like, sometimes I kind of know what I need. And it's like as simple as, oh, I'm tired. I probably should just get like more sleep. I should maybe make that the priority to get more sleep.
I'm tired. I need to be more awake, more stimulants, or I could just sleep some more.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound fun. That's the problem.
Exactly. Sometimes I feel like I'm this little person inside this being. Well, I'm not a person. I'm this consciousness, and I'm frustrated by the limitations of this being.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're mean to your body in that way because of that?
I mean, probably depriving myself of sleep is one of the meanest things that I've done, not lately, but up until a month or two ago. I was mean that way. I was mean to my body for a long time by overeating because I was really overweight and I didn't exercise. I mean, I just didn't know. I was ignorant of it.
Yeah, like you weren't aware that your body was like in pain or you weren't treating it well.
I think it was more about just not being aware of what it took to be fit. That, the American diet is apparently not good for, or 70% of people are overweight just from eating the American diet. I think I felt, I just eat regular American food. What's the problem?
Yeah.
And I was angry when I realized, that's not actually good for humans.
Yeah. So like, what are some other like issues that you deal with when it comes like your confidence or trusting yourself? Like, what does that look like in your mind of like areas where you're like, oh, I'm doing bad at this, or like just questioning yourself a lot?
I think one of the things that comes to mind is people pleasing, where I feel like I want people to like me And so I'm maybe editing myself in a way that isn't who I really am, just to please someone else or to be seen or to be loved more. Where if I were to say what I really think, it could piss someone off, even though it's my truth, a value of mine. Yeah, I think sometimes I hold back on that. But I think that partly comes from I had so much certainty before and I would speak strongly about it. But now I look back and I realize I was wrong. And that makes it extra difficult for me to speak my truth or speak my value now because I don't have a Bible to point at anymore. I don't have anything to point at. It's just what I think. And that's hard to stand behind sometimes, especially if it's going to piss someone off.
Oh, definitely. I think that's why it's like such a brave like act to like really try understanding yourself and then speaking confidently when you really understand yourself. I think is just such a brave thing because you're putting so much trust into yourself and what you're saying, especially when it can like impact someone like directly. Do you ever like, I think we mentioned this a little bit, but do you worry about like confidence in yourself and trusting yourself leading into like arrogance or being egotistical, like presenting yourself like you're coming off like you think you know more than you really do?
Yeah, I think I worry about that unread library effect where I've seen a headline or something like that and I speak about just the headline and I'm like, well, what if I say this and it's not actually true? I'm definitely scared to speak about things like that.
Okay.
I think I was arrogant before. If the Bible was right, then I would have been right. But
yeah.
It's not. And so I wasn't. And so I definitely am holding back about speaking confidently about something. I wish I could trust myself more in that way. What about you?
Yeah. So like, it's actually funny because I feel like I'm dealing with a problem the problem that I've been dealing with for a while is happening right now.
In this very moment.
In this moment. Yeah. Which is like trusting myself that I'm like, I'm like, that I'm okay. Because I feel like I'm really good at just like presenting myself like I'm okay. Like I can like give really serious like facial expressions and like confident like look. But right now having like a lot of like body anxiety. And this is, I feel like a big problem of me not trusting my own like body is like worrying that something's wrong with me and to start having like a panic attack and trying to like tell myself that like I'm okay and like nothing's like wrong. Like right now in this moment, I feel like I'm like having that problem where I'm like, oh my God, is like something wrong? Am I okay? And I'm not like trusting my body that it's okay or trusting myself that I'm okay.
Is it your body that's sending the message or is this from your mind, you think?
I think it's from my mind and my body is like reacting it because of my mind. Like I'm having a hard time just like trusting myself that I'm okay. And so then my mind is like looking for areas in my body that like something's wrong. And then my body starts having like jolts of like adrenaline or weird sensations of like
of panic.
A panic, yeah. And that's what's happening right now. And
you look so happy.
I'm not. I'm actually like I'm really suffering right now.
I'm sorry. Everything's gonna be fine. You're doing great.
Like this is like so stupid, but like I'm worried that I'm like gonna have like a stroke. Like that's always like like one of the biggest things about like my anxiety is like I'll feel like that I'm trying to like tell myself it's just like a rush of adrenaline to my head, but then I feel like this rush to my head. I'm like, oh my God, am I having a stroke? My face starts like feeling a little numb, and I think it's just like it's a panic attack, but it has very much like physical symptoms, like something's really wrong with me, and I feel like it's been a lot trying to deal with this of like worrying that something's wrong with me and that that I'm not okay, like that I'm not safe, that my body's not strong, that I'm like kind of like what I was saying before of like feeling weak or like mentally like not okay, like not well. And it's it's honestly like really miserable, like just like feeling and dealing with this and questioning myself so much. And I've been working really hard on trying to dismiss those thoughts and just be like, no, everything's okay. Like I can trust my body. I can trust my mind. I exercise a lot. Like my body's probably like, see, I can't even say fully that it is healthy, but it's healthier than what it could be. And that like, that is healthy enough that I'm not going to have a stroke when I'm like 30 years old. But then again, I don't know.
Let me just ask, are you okay right now?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Like I think this is just like this is just becoming such a reoccurring problem that like it just making me very unhappy. Like I feel very miserable and very unhappy.
So you think there's something wrong right now?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what I've been dealing with for the last like few weeks, where I'll have like a panic attack, and then it leads to my thoughts starting to like question myself and be really concerned and not like trusting like my own body's like signals, like looking for something wrong, even though like I'm like trying to tell myself that everything's okay. But I'm feeling that like right now.
You've described a couple of your experiences with substances, and they were terrifying. Mm-hmm. And one in particular was really painful. And in a few of them, you've said you felt like you were dying. What I wondered was, why did you accept that? Why didn't you call an ambulance if you thought you were dying? I'm wondering if this has something about trust between you and your body.
Yeah, I think there's moments because it's like an illegal substance that's like, I didn't know if I was gonna get like in trouble or something for being on a substance and going to like the ER.
It's not illegal to be on a substance though, right? It's illegal to possess it.
Oh, I'm not sure. Like I think I just kind of assumed that like going into like the hospital on something that they would just like arrest me, which is,
oh my God, that feels like it explains a lot.
Really?
Yeah. You felt like you couldn't help yourself. You'd put yourself in this situation, so I guess I deserve this maybe. Yeah, I don't think that's held against you. We should definitely double check this later, but I'm pretty sure that the doctor is going to say, have you been on any substances? And it's important to tell them exactly.
Yeah, I think once I had to go in because I had a panic attack while smoking weed. But yeah, I think I spent like 2 hours trying to decide if I should go to the ER because I thought that I was like concerned I was going to get arrested for coming in. Like, and so like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're right that I've just had like bad experiences of kind of feeling like I can't do anything about it. That I'm like, that like something feels wrong, but I'm not allowed to, that nothing's going to fix it. Like I have to just deal with it by myself. And I've kind of had this issue with starting to be more proactive of going to the hospital for panic attacks and asking them, being like, hey, is something wrong? I feel like I'm having a heart attack or I'm going to have like a stroke. And then them telling me that like, no, everything's like, okay. But the thing that makes it hard is when they just like tell you that they're limited on what they can test. And so like I had like an EKG done. I did like a test where they put stuff on my chest as I was like exercising as a way to like track like how like my heart reacted to being high stress. And I think those experiences did help me out in being more confident that like I'm okay. But then there are like certain sensations or feelings in my body where I'm just like, I don't know what I can do, because I don't want to go when I'm having anxiety like this or a panic attack. I don't want to go to the hospital because I feel like I'm just wasting money. And then also that I'm making a scene, like that I'm like being annoying. And that's why I'm just like stuck in this position where I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that sounds really difficult. It sounds like you need to be cared for in that way, but it's hard because it costs money or makes a scene, but maybe you need that.
But then they'll just be like, nothing's wrong with you. Like that's what's happened like almost every single time that I've had this.
What do you think is keeping you from believing them?
It's
They don't have all the information.
I think that's a big part of it is that like they just told me like they can't, because I was concerned really about my heart health for a while, because I was having a lot of like sharp pains, and I was using like nicotine, which is like was making those like pains like worse, which was probably causing like high blood pressure. But they're like, well, your insurance can't really cover like a calcium score to see how much like heart disease, because you need to be like 40 years old or have signs before you can do that. So you have to like pay it out of pocket, which would be like a couple grand. But I also do recognize that this is like the hypochondriac route of spending a lot of money on unnecessary things, because I think deep down, I do know that this is anxiety and like a panic attack, and I'm okay. I think sometimes I just need to talk about it, honestly. Like sometimes I feel like I'm just holding so much in my own head that I have a hard time trusting myself. Like there's so much noise that I don't know how to, like, what is me and what is a thought. And I think just like talking about this out loud is like grounding me and making me like feel better.
I feel bad for not being able to detect it. I wish I could detect it and help you with it.
Yeah, but that's not like on you. Like maybe I can do I can do better at trying to like share when I'm not okay. I just don't know how. Like I don't really know how.
I mean, I feel that when I've gone backpacking and we deal with stuff that's up really high, I'm terrified of heights, and we've altered the direction we go hiking because of me. And I feel bad about costing my friends or Lydia going over this really cool spot because I'm scared, but it's irrational, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels fucking terrifying. And I don't feel like I can do anything about it in that moment. If that's the same for you, I would love to know about that.
Usually I speak about it at like a high level. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just having like some body anxiety. And like when I'm saying that, I probably say it like, I'm just noticing right now how casual I say it. I'm like, yeah, I'm having some body anxiety. But like inside, I'm like, oh my God, is something wrong with me? Ouch. Like my body's hurting me right now. Okay, be serious, focus right now. Try to be like professional. And then like I have like this executive function side of my brain is like trying to appear like nothing's wrong with me, which is the opposite of really how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I wonder if your body just needs to be acknowledged more. Partly by going to the hospital or by opening up to a few people that you feel comfortable with, instead of I'm having a little body anxiety right now, of I feel like I'm about to die. Like let the voice inside that it's come out.
Oh, that's the thing. Is like sometimes it's like it's hard. I don't know how to like express this, like because it comes out panicked. It's just like pure panic, and that can seem like kind of crazed. Like part of me wants to like run away from it, when really what I need to do is actually just like kind of slow down and like sit with it.
I would be okay if it came out like panic.
Really?
I feel like I'm not getting the real you, or not getting to care for the real need if I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it's like I just don't know if that like fixes it. Like I don't know what panicking does besides like fight it, or yeah, like fight it. I'm sorry that the episode's turning into this.
I'm not.
Okay.
I guess I want the real you to come out. Trust yourself, and let's just acknowledge what it is and go from there.
again, like I don't, part of me like wants to like cry, but I don't know how. Part of me wants to just like lie down and like slow down and get myself to feel like safe. I feel like I'm like stuck in this position where I don't know what to do. Like I don't know what choice to make.
That sounds really difficult. I'm really sorry about this.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like I really wanted to be able to just like trust that my body is like okay and that like nothing's wrong with me. Cause there's like, whenever I deal with like a panic attack, it like fills up like a couple weeks, even sometimes months where like 80% of my mind is filled with that still every single day, every single moment. And I feel bad for myself. Like that sounds like hell. That sounds like a really miserable like experience in life, especially like trying to present myself like everything's okay. And maybe I need to like tell myself that not everything's not okay. And maybe this does require a like drastic choice for myself to be like, oh, you know what? Because sometimes when I'm feeling this way, I'll still allow myself to do things that people need from me. I'm like, oh, I gotta like work right now. I gotta hop on a meeting while I'm like feeling this way. Oh, I gotta take care of the kids. Oh, I gotta like, I mean, even doing this, like doing a podcast, and it's like, part of me is like, just try to get stronger, try to get better at handling this. And so I think I am partially trying to do like exposure therapy, but then there's times where I'm like, maybe it'd be better for me just to like take time for myself. Like rest.
I mean, exposure therapy is like slowly like creeping up. You can handle this level, and then you can handle this level. It seems like you're just diving into the deep end, or you're already in the deep end. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Have you thought of this as a part, like internal family system style?
Like it's a part that's really afraid of myself.
It's like, no, it's not afraid of yourself. It's trying to protect you. Like, oh my God, there's a twinge in my heart. You need to do something, or you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking to that part and updating it. Have you tried that yet?
I think I have, and it actually does like help. It's just like sometimes it's like hard to get there. This is interesting. I feel like once I start talking about my anxiety, like talking about my body anxiety, my panic attack, I feel like it starts treating it as like more real. And once it's treated like, so like talking about it with someone else, I feel like I can like connect to that talk to that side of myself more. But I think when I'm just by myself and I'm just holding all this inside, it becomes like almost emotionally numb, where it's like, I don't even know how to like start. And I think that's been one of the issues with me not speaking to that part, is I don't think I'm doing the beginning step, which is actually treating it like something it's like, it was almost like I'm trying to pretend like nothing's wrong and I need to just accept that something is, and that it's okay to feel that, and then trying to connect to myself that way.
How do you feel about being grateful towards this part? That seems like that would be really difficult to do.
Sometimes I have a hard time just like feeling what, oh yeah, that's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, because in IFS therapy, that sometimes is important of, thank you for being here. I see what you're trying to do. You have this belief, this part of you has this belief that you are going to die. And oh man, it's giving you huge emotions to try to protect yourself. If you look at it from that part's perspective, that's like really kind, really loving. And you could be grateful towards that. But it just needs an update. Maybe this part formed whenever you didn't have a full enough understanding of this. But if you could give it an update and make it feel protected and loved and You're grateful for what it's trying to do, even though it's fucking up a whole bunch of other stuff. Being grateful for what it's trying to do and having compassion for it.
Yeah, I'm like just like trying to focus on that right now for myself. Yeah, I do think that I'm like usually trying to run away from it. Like I'm like trying not to acknowledge that I'm feeling this way. And so I can see that being valuable of trying to like just acknowledge it. And especially with like what you're saying, like being like thankful or grateful for it. It's like, I think you're right. That is a nice thing that it's trying to do, but it's like a nuisance to me.
Yeah, it's greatly misinformed. But with the information it has, its actions make sense. So maybe just love it and appreciate it from its perspective and try to connect with it. And I can see why you would want to run away from it in some situations, but maybe with me or with Courtney or a few people, try not to run away from it and bring it up, talk about it whenever it starts hitting you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, I think you're right. I think that would be really helpful for me to just like get more comfortable with speaking to people about it. Like this like last year has like been the first time that I've been able to get comfortable with like even my partner who's like Courtney, who have like been with for like almost 5 years. Like this is the first time in my life this last year that I feel like I've been able to like actually talk about it and get comforted from her. And I definitely feel more comfortable talking about this with you. But I did feel it start coming up, and I'm happy it kind of did, because I think it does relate to the podcast, because this is like literally the problem I've been dealing with, which is like trusting like this part of me, like trusting my body, trusting my mind, and not like fighting it, but just trusting that everything's going to be okay in myself. Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
I feel a little better actually, focusing in that way you're describing of just like trying to like see it as like a part of myself, trying to defend me and like speaking into it. It's just, I'm just like having such weird like body sensations right now, like in my top of my head and like my side of my face to like my stomach. And so that I'm like trying to not be distracted by the sensations and trying to like come back to it and just being like, thanks. Thanks for being there for me.
Damn, you are freaking the fuck out. This must be really important to you.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like I appreciate it, but you know, everything will be okay.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to just like switch into believing that, like that that I'm okay. Like I feel like I have such a counter belief against that I can see it. I can be like, you know what? I'm okay. Everything's good. And like trying to like present myself that way, but then I'll start having like body sensations and my mind starts going, oh my God, what is this? Something's wrong. And then I'll just like instantly start switching back into like panic fear mode.
When you look at the data, what does the data say? Have you been okay?
Like what data?
You sitting there alive right now.
Yeah, but it's like I'm worried that like any minute something like I could literally die. That's literally what I'm dealing with. Is I'm worried that I'm gonna like have a stroke or a heart attack. And again, like I feel bad that this like episode is like turning into this. Like I feel extremely bad about it.
I don't feel that way. Don't project that over here.
Okay.
Yeah, you've had these feelings hundreds or thousands of times, and you're still okay.
Yes.
But that part doesn't accept that. But you know that. Self, Lane, knows that.
That I have been okay in the past. Yes. It's just, it seems different each time. Like it's like a different battle each time.
A new twinge.
Yeah, just like when I was having like, when we were having a conversation, I was having like, I'm telling myself was like a shot of like adrenaline in my body, but it literally felt like I was going to pass out for a second. Like if literally a sensation of like all the blood moving to my head. And like, I feel like I was going to pass out for a second, and that might just be a panic attack. But then I'm like so hyper aware of myself that I can control that, being like, oh, I'm okay. Oh, here's another one. Oh, I'm okay.
That sounds so exhausting emotionally, but also physically. I have so much sympathy for that. I'm sorry.
I don't think I pay attention too much of how much this like impacts me like emotionally. Like how I think you're right. Like how exhausting it is. Like I think I am just like really emotionally tired and exhausted, and I'm not like acknowledging that, and I'm not like listening to that and taking care of myself. But it's nice having conversations like this, because I feel like it helps me recognize how important that is for me right now. Because when I'm just in my head too much, I'm not really aware that's what I'm needing. Like I'm like so distracted by my anxiety that I don't know that I need to just like rest.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think everyone is going to have the perspective of respecting someone else's fear that's maybe not rational. Maybe people don't have that themselves. I wonder if everyone has an irrational fear. But whenever I looked at my fear of heights that way, it gave me so much more ability to sympathize with people that have an irrational fear that I don't relate to at all. I was actually thinking about you lately because I had this muscle that keeps tensing in my neck the last week or so. And it makes me think I wonder if Lane would think I'm having a stroke.
It's just getting like tight in one area.
Like tightens right here and it pulls my face down. I'm like, oh, isn't that like a sign of stroke?
I wouldn't 100% be feeling that way. But it's just like so embarrassing to even like admit, but I'm fucking talking about it on a podcast. And the reason for that is because I think I've met quite a few people that have really bad like body anxiety, and I don't know. I don't think people like talk about it enough. And I think the people that have it are not going to be talking about it because they're having so much anxiety about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will identify this. And even if it's not the same fear, just being as open as you are about your fear, I think they'll be able to relate to that.
I hope so. I know our friend Simon is going to like enjoy this episode.
Give us a thumbs up, Simon.
Yeah. Well, just talking about it did help me. And I think I am going to just like try continuing on from that place of like feeling more grounded.
Yeah, you can trust yourself, but you might need to love yourself also. Give yourself a little gratitude and compassion.
Yeah, part of me wishes that I could like do that right now in this moment. I don't think I can. I think I need probably some like rest before I can do that, or while resting.
Yeah, I remember getting a twitch in my eyelid and looking up what is the most common cause of that, and it was stress. And so maybe this twitch over here is a different form of stress, and your twinges and feelings are a different form of stress.
I think you're probably right. I think there's like a 95% chance that this is all just like stress and like emotionally exhaustedness, where like I'm not able to handle my thoughts well because I'm mentally exhausted. And because of that, I'm stressing out when I'm putting myself in situations where, see, even like right now.
I mean, imagine being out in the woods and thinking you hear a bear and you think you're going to die. That would be exhausting. So much panic. How could you function?
That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no bears here.
Yeah, my body's just like, see, I was going to say my body's just like fucked up. Like that's not a very nice way to talk to myself.
What's a different story?
I think my body's just scared. I think I am literally just afraid of my own body. And I think that telling myself that leads to a more like sympathetic route to myself of being like, no, it's okay. Like this is literally just being afraid of like my body, and that my body is like, okay. And it's not doing anything wrong.
I think it's incredible to think about how long humans live. I mean, how many times do our hearts beat in a lifetime? They're really resilient. They're so powerful. Yeah, maybe lean into that. You've made it this far. You're really healthy.
Hopefully. See, I actually don't believe these things about myself. Like, I actually don't think I'm healthy. Like, I think like I'm like pretty like out of shape. I think I have like bad habits with like nicotine, and in comparison to what some other people are doing when it comes to like not taking care of their health, I think
in comparison to some other people, though, you are much better at taking care of your health. So let's just imagine you've taken care of all the issues that you would have listed.
Okay.
You think it's going to be gone?
I think I would have less concern that something's wrong with me. I think I'd be more confident in myself to be like, oh, I'm okay. Like based off of everything I'm doing, I think I'm okay. I just don't think I'm doing enough of those things or have gotten to that point to be able to have that confidence in myself. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't. I probably need to.
Yeah, I don't know if this fear would go away if you were perfectly fit and weren't using you were eating all natural stuff, no substances. I don't know if that would go away.
Yeah, maybe not. So far, I feel like the things that have helped me out the most with this has been like meditating and like, I think connecting to that like part of myself that you were kind of mentioning. It's just, sometimes it's just hard to get there. Yeah, I think there are things I could be doing in that way when it comes to like resting and like meditating more to help deal with this. But then I feel like I need to just continue on with my life and do these other things and distract myself. It's just hard.
Well,
yeah.
Well, when you can, let that part speak out to me or to Courtney or to whoever you feel safe. And we'll start from there.
I can definitely do that. I appreciate you helping me try to like feel safe. I'm sorry that I'm not fully able to like get there right now. It's just really hard. Just kidding. I've been acting this whole time.
You asshole.
No, I actually haven't, but
I know you're being an asshole to that part.
Yeah. That would have just been really
so
funny.
Dismissive.
It's just like thinking about all the people on like social media that just pretend to have disabilities and stuff, like just like pretending to be a person having a panic attack, but even though I really am.
Oh, I give you so much sympathy.
Like, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. No, but in seriousness, yeah, this is all real. Or is it? Maybe I need to not treat it so seriously. Maybe that would be helpful.
Maybe. I think you are pretty dismissive of it.
You think even just the way I'm describing that is dismissive?
Just the whole description of this whole part of the episode, you feel like I've got to like wake the fuck up. You can't pass out right now.
Yeah, it's it's like if I had a stroke or like a heart attack, the first thing my mind starts popping into me was like, how weird would that be for other people that I'm having that like happen? It's like less that I'm like dying, but more of like being kind of being like an annoyance or nuisance or like causing problems for other people. I feel like causes problems for a lot of people. You can be my therapist, JT. You can ask me any fucking question you want. Panic attack AMA.
I guess my summation is you need to be okay leaning on other people. You're always helping and it's a really good quality you have. But those of us that are aware of that, they wouldn't want you to sacrifice all of that. They wouldn't want you to sacrifice that way if it's costing you this.
I just don't know how people can help me. I that's not true. I think giving myself, like, you are helping me by giving me space to be able to speak about this. That is really helpful. I think usually the thing that I'm like needing the most is like physical comfort. And that's like a kind of a hard thing to like ask from people, of like being held tightly, I guess, or in being like, I guess, like kind of like babied a little bit, that like everything's like okay. I think I would trust a doctor doing that without like the touching part, just because he's a doctor and would know. Like, I feel like if a doctor was able to like tell me like, look at all your vitals, you know, your blood pressure is not too high, like you're good. I feel like I'd be like relieved by that. And I feel like I long for that, but then I feel like also just like kind of being held and being comforted and being like given a space where like no matter what I'm feeling, that it's okay for me to feel that. Like allowing me, I guess, to acknowledge this, it makes me feel very like much more safe. It's just the hardest part is me being in situations where I'm not convinced that I can speak about this because it's going to cause problems for other people, or like be a nuisance on like other people in other people's lives. Like in the middle of a podcast episode.
What if you spoke about it? You gave yourself permission to speak about it for a few months and it went away after that.
Then I would trust that I need to just like talk about it more often.
And you said you would drive all the way over here to give me a hug.
Yeah.
I would definitely do the same for you.
Really?
Yeah. That seems like such a simple thing to help.
Yeah.
Please ask for that anytime. And if I can, I will.
I will work harder on like letting you know about that.
I can tell you're so resistant to that.
I am.
You selfless asshole.
No, I don't know if it has to do with self. It's just uncomfortable as fuck. That's really what it is. It's just like uncomfortable asking for help or something like that from people.
I wonder if someone would hold me right before a scary fear of heights situation, if that would change things for me. I can see that would be really uncomfortable to ask for.
Yeah, like especially if they're all like, what? Like everyone else is like fine with it. No, like what's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah, it does feel like something is wrong with me. But I think that may have been given to me by my conditioning as a kid. It was a funny joke to be up somewhere high and then come up behind someone and like pretend you're going to shove them off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And my parents kept me away from ledges by making me terrified of it. Like what think of what could happen. You probably wouldn't die. You would just be paralyzed for the rest of your life. Like saying terrifying shit like that
God.
to a little child. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of done that to my kids a little bit when it comes to like heights, just because like a cliff edge. I'm like, you know, if you like walk close to that, like you don't know if the ground is gonna slip like close to like the edge of it, and you can slip and fall. Because I feel like kids just don't pay attention to that shit. But I think I was like conditioned the same way.
Yeah, I can be so far away that I could trip and fall and be fine, but then trip and fall and then be fine, and then trip and fall again. That I'm still terrified if I'm 3 trips away.
It's actually interesting because my mom also has like panic attacks and body anxiety.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I actually remember growing up hearing about it or like watching her deal with it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if I was like not only genetically prone to this, but also like socially prone to it, just because having experienced someone else constantly dealing with that. One of the hardest parts though was, I think when she was like in her early 30s, she was having a panic attack and went to the hospital and they actually told her she had a heart attack from it. But she also had like a weird like thing with like a weird virus from like, or like infection from like strep throat or something too around that time. But I remember, this is actually really sad. I think I was like 8 years old when this like happened. And I remember I was the person who got the strep throat first, like this weird like variant of it, because like me and my cousin stayed up like 48 hours straight playing video games without like we're trying to stay up as late as we possibly could.
Wait, if you stay up for 48 hours, you get a weird variant of strep throat?
I guess so. I have no fucking idea. Well, apparently I did get strep throat after like this long period of not sleeping. And then my mom got it, and then she had like the panic attack thing, went to the ER. They told her she had a heart attack. And I remember feeling so bad. Like it was my fault that that happened to her as like a little kid.
Oh my God, that's heavy. What did you think of her panic attacks? How did you view them?
This memory comes into my head right now where I remember like, it was around that same time period after she had like the heart attack stuff. Cause I think that was the first time I really noticed her having a panic attack actually. And I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I remember one of the things I was not taking care of myself with was brushing my teeth. For some reason, at a time period, I was just like rebellious about brushing my teeth. And
they don't look that dirty.
Thanks.
No, I'm not saying right now. It's like kids look at their teeth and like, oh, they look fine. I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember being like, feeling bad that I wasn't brushing my teeth first off. And I remember being like, asking my mom, I'm like, hey mom, is there a way that if I didn't brush my teeth that could like cause me to have like a heart attack or something like that? And I remember she gave some type of like panicked answer of being like, well, I mean, you could get an infection in your tooth that like affects your body or something like that. It's like the answer wasn't like, no, you're okay. It was like, maybe, yeah.
Probably no. Probably.
Yeah, which is like nothing against her because she's just like got told she's had a fucking heart attack and she's like having panic attacks. But I think that was the first time where I just like started questioning my own health, actually.
Oh my God, that is young burden.
Yeah.
So when she had subsequent ones, did you view it with sympathy?
She did the same thing. I don't think she ever like showed anyone that she was having panic attacks. She would isolate herself. My mom's really good. I'm very similar to my mom where she's very good at like hiding when she's dealing with emotional distress. And so I don't think I ever really saw her having panic attacks. I think my dad had to deal with that, but maybe that would have like been helpful for her. Maybe that's why I'm like, I do think I was trained from like my parents to just not share emotionally how I'm feeling because it kind of is burdensome if it's something uncomfortable that they are going to have to hear or like deal with. And so I do think I'm just like too good at like hiding my own emotions and not letting them out. And maybe that would be like the thing I need to do the most and the most freeing is just like fucking just like share how I'm feeling. Like trusting that, this brings us back to the podcast topic, trusting that side of myself that I like that what I'm feeling is okay. Like it's okay that I'm feeling anything. Like it's okay that I'm feeling any emotion and that I should like trust myself to like just like entrust the people around me to like let that out and share how I'm feeling.
I remember when I moved here, I met this new person. He's a really good friend now. But the second time I got together with him, I was like, "How are you doing?" Or he said, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm good." And I said, "How are you?" And he just like opened up about all this negative stuff. He was like feeling stressed from schoolwork or tired and exhausted because he can't sleep. And it was such a weird thing for me. And I think I had the same perspective as you, is that, oh, we don't want to burden people with that. Mm-hmm. But now I respect him so much for his emotional openness. And it's like one of the most valuable things about him. And he's not denying himself. I remember we were hanging out and he was like, I need to go for a walk by myself.
Wow.
And I, again, thought that was really strange, but maybe I needed that.
Yeah.
I guess I think it's kind of a social, cultural thing to think, oh, I'm not going to burden people with my negative feelings. But I think it's more connecting, more loving, healthier. Yeah, I'm open for you to try it with me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try that. I think it's interesting how we like people who are like confident, who confidently know what they want or know what they need, like emotionally. Like I think it's the reason why it's like people are like who are like overly confident, arrogant, kind of get treated the same way, where people like look up to them, but they're like kind of manufacturing their own emotions. But
It almost seems like you do know what you want or need, but you're not willing to ask for it.
Or I'm not willing to like put the work in for myself. Actually, that's not true, because if I actually, if I actually was able to be like, okay, like in a perfect scenario, if I'm able to go, what do I like exactly need right now as a way to deal with this? It would be take a couple days off of work and not use like caffeine or like any type of stimulant, and just like sleep and rest, like and relax for like 2 days straight. Like I think that's like really what I need. And I think I've just been procrastinating this, because a few days ago when I was feeling this, I was like, man, I should probably just like tell my coworkers that I'm like, my boss, that I need like a sick day. But I didn't do that because it's already taking a little bit from like a day for like part of a day for my birthday. And I'm also going in a trip in a couple of weeks. And I just like feel bad that I'm already taking time off during like a busy project time. But that would have actually been like what I need like emotionally to deal with it. And I just didn't do it. I just procrastinated because I felt, again, feeling like I'm being a burden, taking care of myself when it's like something I really need. And I know my boss would have been like super supportive and cool with that if I would have just asked.
Yeah, I think you need to realize it's okay to be a burden. You completely allow me to be a burden, and I've seen you do it with other friends. You can do that the other way around.
I think you're right. I'm gonna have to sit with on that one for a bit. I think there's definitely something there, though. And I appreciate you calling me out my shit.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, thank you, JT.
You're welcome, Lane. I like this episode.
Why?
You were doing I don't know, you moved around. There was something I liked about that. You had all these different positions. You seemed here in a different way than before.
I feel like when I'm normally relaxed, I do things like that. Like I move. I want to move my body constantly. I just don't.
Huh.
I feel like I hold myself back so much. I'm like constraining all of this. Like maybe that's why I have so much anxiety, is that I'm not like expressing myself physically with like how I really feel, because I do feel that way sometimes. Like when I get into a point where I'm having to just like maintain and just like actively listen to something, and then like needing, like putting it's a lot of pressure. I feel like I'm putting on myself to have to like have the next response, like whether this or like a work meeting, and then being able to like make the person feel like I'm being supportive of how I'm like listening to them. And so I'm putting so much pressure on myself and like tightness to like act a certain way. And I don't know if that's like really who I am.
I've been thinking about this idea of you not wanting to be a burden, and I've been like angry about it.
Really?
Because I feel like sometimes you don't hang out with people because you only feel like you can give and you can't take. It's why I suggested we just get together and be silent sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's costing time with you for me because you don't want to be a burden. And I want to spend time with you, even if it's you being a burden to me. I feel like it could change the way you look at spending time with people if you were okay being a burden to them sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I just don't even know how to be a burden to myself. Like I don't feel like I know. I don't take the actions to just be like, do nothing. Like I'm not feeling very good. I should probably just go lay down and put a TV show on and just do nothing for a while. I don't even do that. Like, so like I feel like I think the first step is me like actually taking actions on actually like being like, I am not doing anything productive. I am just going to just sit here and relax and get comfortable and feel safe. And then if I do that, like I feel like I will be naturally more comfortable to do that with other people. I just don't do that for myself even. I'm just like, oh shit, dealing with a lot of anxiety. Oh fuck, I don't feel very good. Okay, let's just keep on going. Like I literally just keep moving and because I think distracting myself as a first response because I'm so scared of it, or I've had bad experiences where I'm trying to proactively like meditate or relax and it doesn't go away. It just like actually gets like worse. But I think it's because I'm still too afraid to like confront it.
I would really appreciate it if you would consider that sometimes. I feel like it might lead to you being able to be a burden to me and we would be able to spend more time together.
I promise you I will. Like the moment I get home, I'm literally going to do that.
Okay, good.
Like, again, like I don't think I even recognized that I needed that until talking about it. I don't think I talk about it as in depth as I need to. Maybe I should start saying like I have a therapy appointment for the first time in like 2 months tomorrow, actually, on my birthday. And maybe this will be a good thing to just like, I just feel like I'm fucking crazy. Like, I feel like I'm like a crazy panicked person where I think like I'm having like a psychotic break. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
I mean, I think one part of you maybe is that way, but
oof.
it's really young and it's not updated.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want, that was so crazy about that mushroom experience at the festival. It was like, I feel like I was connecting to that part so strongly. I keep having these strong intuitions while like meditating that I want to stop nicotine, like really bad. Yesterday, I almost fully stopped, like fully committed to it, but then I did it again. And I think it would do me wonders to take a break from stimulants for a while. And I know that so strongly, or maybe I'm putting too much pressure on myself that that's for sure the issue. But I think it kind of is because it's like speeding up that dialogue where I feel emotionally so distant from myself that I can't connect to that part of myself emotionally. And every time I've been so connected to myself, it's when I'm off of like nicotine. It's just like I'm scared and like I'm really scared to do it, honestly.
Because of your drop in performance?
Yes. And also like feeling, I know that I'm going to feel bored for a bit or like agitated and irritated. And I'm like, oh, for my birthday, I'm going out. It'd be nice to use some nicotine for then. But then like, that's like, I should be good enough to not have to use it, you know?
Maybe tomorrow's not the day.
On my birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or even Friday.
But like setting an actual goal of being like this day, I'm for sure doing it.
I don't know if that works either. I think it's more coming up with the things that make it a want, not a should.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rush it.
Yeah. Like I feel like the thing that's becoming my emotional motivation for it is I keep having these experiences while I'm off of it for like a few hours, and I'll be able to connect to myself emotionally and like while meditating, and I'm like, oh my God, relief finally. Like my body relaxes, my anxiety goes away. I feel so content and close to myself and so happy. And then I like am trying to like extend that time of how long I try staying in that place before using it again. But then I use it and I instantly notice like the negative effects of it again. My body gets tight and tense and I don't feel good. And so then I'm like, I feel bad because I'm restricting myself from potentially being fucking happy and calm, all these things that I really care about. But it's been good. I feel like having more of those experiences consistently of like the positive ones to be like, do do I really want this like one thing to like remove my happiness? So I'm getting to that point where I'm like, it's like my mental vision is like refining, going, oh, it's you little fucking bitch. And like wanting to like let that go.
Yeah, that wanting to avoid the boredom, that's kind of like a procrastination thing. Let yourself just feel the feeling you're afraid to feel.
Okay.
Like ahead of time.
Okay. Wait, say that one more time.
Whenever feel like I don't want to do something, and because it's going to make me feel whatever it is, then I just like sit with myself and I let that feeling grow and build and wash over me. And I'm okay, actually. So now I can do the thing.
Got it.
Because
okay.
it's usually the fear of the feeling or the anticipation of the feeling that's stronger than the actual feeling.
Then just feeling it out, what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I don't know if your birthday week is the week to quit, though.
You're right. You know what? This might be a good thing for me to ask for help from you. I think I want to set myself a deadline, like maybe this week, some point this weekend after like the birthday stuff, that I really want to like fully commit to like trying a week without that. Like even just a week. A week's nothing, you know, like I should be able to do a week. But during that time, I feel like it would be helpful for me to have like someone to reach out to or like hang out with when I'm having those hard times, to actually just like talk it out or like be that burden. I think that actually would be really helpful for me.
I'm really impressed by this. I think this is terrifying to ask for someone to do something like that and to commit to it. I have a lot of respect for this. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Okay. I really appreciate that a lot.
That part of you appreciates it a lot too.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I am like literally counting down the days where I could just like stop and like, I just want to be able to like have just a few weeks of just like feeling emotional, feeling my body be relaxed. Like I feel like that's like a vacation that I need, that I have not had for like years.
Yeah, this is like that part where like, oh man, I'm angry at my body for needing this chemical so much. You know, it's like I'm the little tiny thing inside that's just limited by this body. Like it's so frustrating to be dependent on something like that.
Especially, I'm getting mad at myself because I'm like, I'm the one consciously making the choice to use it. You know, like, I mean, I bet you felt that way with like weed.
Yep.
And then I'm like, fuck, God damn it. Like, look, look, this is not like not good for me. Look, I'm having physical like response from this that's making me feel tight and more stressed, probably giving me high blood pressure, which leads to me being concerned about my body. And it's just like an impulsive, mentally and physically unhealthy addiction right now for me. There are times where it's maybe not that bad in that way, but would I be happier without it? I have been. I have fucking historical proof of that with stopping it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Let's get you physically healthy one step at a time.
Okay. I really appreciate your support on this. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel and maybe check out this other video here.